Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Triple Threat Comics YouTube channel. I'm your host, Ian Miller. Today, we're starting a new segment for the channel. It is the movie reactions, or more appropriately, movie rewatch. As we're here today to rewatch a timeless classic, it's Tim Burton's 1989 Batman. And here with me are two very special guests. First, we have Carl Newman, who is Michael Keaton's movement double for the movie. And we have author John Jackson Miller, who has written the hit runaway Batman Resurrection novel. And he's got his sequel coming out, Batman Revolution, in October. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Glad to be
Thank
here.
you so much. Great to be here.
Well, it's great to have you both here. Obviously, you've both been on here before, and yeah, this is very exciting because obviously this is still the 36th anniversary of the movie, but I'm very excited to have these two talk about, one about his experiences on making the movie, the other his insights on the movie.
Yeah, I mean, just touching on that, I mean, I the love and the appreciation, as we know, is just boundless. It just keeps going on and on and on. And for someone like myself, it's just incredible that in many ways getting more appreciation and light shone on what I did in the film. And because I think so many people still didn't understand about this movement double, and that it was a specific title role given to me that then actually put me in with the credits of the actors rather than lumping me in with the rest of the stunt people. So more and more people are finding out about my work, and it's just wonderful.
Well, I'm hoping as we see your times on the screen, you'll stop whatever we're talking about and let us know when you know it's you.
Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, of course, folks, I do have a Patreon account now. So if you want to see the unedited version of this movie reaction, just go to Patreon. The link is down below. And just sit back and enjoy it. And become a member, a Triple Threat fan, to see the early access and, all unedited movie reactions. So, shall we get the show on the road?
Do it.
Gentlemen, let's burn our minds. I had to say it.
It's got to be done, hasn't it? Yeah, so they had started, production, and it seemed as though on paper or whatever that they had everything that they needed, with the stunt double and Michael. But then, Tim quickly realized that it wasn't giving him everything that he wanted. So, I was with dance agents in London. I'd come out of college. I was primed and ready. I'd been working on various things. I got this call to go and meet the first assistant director at Pinewood. But then it just escalated from there, where I went back. I tried the costume on and met the wardrobe, and then I finally got to meet Tim, and then that's when he saw what I could do, and asked me to stay, and then that was it. 11 weeks I got to do a whole variety of scenes and movements and sequences, and I was saying to Ian earlier that it was everything I could have dreamed of, because someone like myself who was an athlete and a dancer, and I did act as well, but I wanted this opportunity to show the world really what I was capable of, and to make that suit look as though it was no kind of restriction or
Right.
barrier to being this kind of very refined, large bat with finesse, with finesse, this superhero character, and that anything was possible. It's me coming right in, and
Yeah, there he is.
So it's a full body harness, or what is this that you're coming down in?
Yeah, just literally a sort of a cradle that was on the torso, around the sort of the groin area that was there, like that you stepped into, and then the key for that was making sure that it was perfectly. And there I am again, perfectly aligned, so that I came in at the right angle. Yeah, but it's making sure that it's so perfect,
Yeah,
and that you come down at the right speed, and you lower the cape very slowly and then soft through the knees. So yes, it's getting that timing perfectly right. With the alley scene,
yeah,
he wanted to spice up that fight sequence more. Michael did a great job. He did very well, in my opinion, but John Peters insisted it was more, as I say, exciting and fizzed. So that's when
what's a ninja fight there?
Yeah, the ninja fight. That's right. And then that built from there as well, where they thought, you know what, we can now utilize those skills a bit more in the bell tower. Which is amazing act, as we know, that there was everything going on in that sequence.
And it really is seamless. You can't tell where Michael begins and ends.
No, it's staggering, isn't it? It's so beautifully crafted, and the fact that we're all very similar heights. I think I was probably a teeny bit taller than Michael. I think I've shrunk now, but I think teeny bit, I think teeny bit taller, and Sean was. I think Dave was a bit smaller, but we're all very comparable in that, and was a fantastic one-off, wasn't it, to get all of those skill sets, like you say, with Michael, and make it all blend so that nobody really knew. And then when I started doing a lot of photographic work as well, that became almost like people thought that was all Michael, but in fact it was me. And
so that you're referring to the publicity shots.
Shots, yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
The media kit. So while this was going on, I was a college student in Tennessee. I was editing the campus newspaper, and we got the Batman media kit, and I think there were something like 40 or 50 stills, photographs in there, and so I can tell you we ran images of what was almost certainly you in my newspaper. this is when I'm 21 here. So it's this being 1989. I don't think that today's viewers understand that there's no CGI here. So it's all practical effects. So
it is.
They have no way of making a cape flourish, look more more animated, other than actually do something physically in the scene.
Yeah, well, in fact, they used a sort of an early form of CGI animation, but I had another sequence prior to that one where I land on the roof, which is where I'm amongst the gargoyles, and it was far more compelling and exciting with me doing what I was doing. But they decided to delete that sequence and put this form of animation CGI in, but which stood out like a sore thumb. And I did a sequence on the rooftop with the Axis Chemical, and that was highly dangerous. But the fact that you were doing it for real, and I was the kind of person that I was going to protect myself at all costs, but I could make it still very theatrical and impressive by what I'd got. And just to see that. And I think it inspired a lot of young kids to put a towel around the waist and try and imitate that.
Well, I think one of the reasons that they might resort to not doing practical is effects is lighting had to be so difficult because these scenes are set in the dark, and you have a fully black cape, and
Yes.
and just to actually get some texture on some of these scenes so that you can see what's going on, and have it look like something. I'm imagining that's what's going on. I do have a question much later about the costume and lighting, but we're about an hour on from that. But
as we know, I mean, Batman has the best rogues gallery, doesn't he?
Oh yeah,
he does. He does. They're all over the place. Yes. Here I have my own one of these.
Oh, nice.
No bullet included.
I noticed that.
I like it. I like it very much.
Yeah, and here's Jerry Hall.
The surreal thing, I was doing another job at Pinewood Studios, and another filming job, and one of the dancers came over and said, "I've just seen Jerry Hall." I was like, "Wow, that's really good." And I think they're making the new Batman movie, and then lo and behold, I'm there. Some weeks later. Isn't it surreal how life is? But
Jerry at the time, for folks who don't know, was a supermodel, but also married to Mick Jagger, I think, at the time.
Jagger, that's right. Yeah.
So and of course this is the great Jack Palance, actor,
amazing,
playing many villains, and certainly in westerns as well. But this guy is iconic here. He's amazing.
Always iconic. Yeah, he was an actor that my late parents, told me about, and I would watch, those films as a youngster, real youngster. But I always admired his presence, his talent. All those great actors of that era, were just a lot of my favorite.
Most of the location, the interior, was actually shot in a decommissioned, I think. Not a reactor, but it was something decommissioned. But what was also interesting,
like a power station, which was the Acton, which was used for aliens, of course.
Yeah.
So that's the significance with that. And I just think again, the creativity that allows you to get this whole realm of locations and looks, which made this film it had so much depth, didn't it, with all of that, and with the scene I did as well. I mean, that was something else as well. It was really quite perilous climbing to get on top of the roof. It was again highly dangerous, and no, that people do think it's me, but that all took place before. I was just biding my time, and then they seemed to give me the even harder bit to do, which was to say the more dangerous bit on the roof. It's the stunt guy doing that one. Again, you see, politically, you had to accept that whilst I could have done that quite comfortably, that if the stunt guy, the stunt coordinator has been told something, then that's it, and you don't cross that territory. I
think there's a guild element to it.
There's a guild, yes,
absolutely,
absolutely, yes, yeah. I mean, as I say, I feel I could have done so much because I was that kind of person. I think you've got it about yourself. You're very physical anyway, and you know what you're capable of. But like you say, the guild and the way things are, and we all mesh together. That was the beauty of it.
Bye Eckhart.
The way it's edited, which is beautiful. But I did actually a very long run in to that point. But they realized they didn't need that. They just needed the dramatic sort of look and turn. But it's got to be perfect, as you know. And I perfected my run up so that I was safe and that I could work out where I was going to do.
By the way, that map was a map of Vancouver, British Columbia.
Get out of here.
Yes.
I never knew that.
It's true.
That's brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
There's Nebworth.
Wow.
Nebworth
yeah.
Hall. Yeah.
And these are sort of bats on the bat-looking things in the gateway. And
yes. I tell you what, when you see all of those gargoyles and things, it's just magnificent. They didn't sort of do it by halves. They're everywhere, grotesques and things. But this is a great.
We would have bat wings in the cabinetry up there. Or actually, that's not the cabinetry. Okay, that's a fan, but or something. But I always looked at it the way it was oriented. It's like I only see the bat there. So again, the set decorations, everybody just did amazing. And this is just a perfect Tim Burton moment here. Straight out of a horror movie.
It's incredible, isn't it? It really is. I mean, Ian and I were talking about this, the fact that less is more, isn't it? You're getting the audience thinking more, and more suspense, more excitement, more electricity. That's what I love about it. Again, going back to that lovely
house
paneling there, that incredible house, perfect for Wayne Manor. And I think Kim was so great, wasn't she? I know Sean Young was the original, and we know of Annette Bening as well. But I think as it turned out, Kim was just so right, I feel.
Look at the architecture. Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Again, the way they created that, just.
Again,
I remember hearing about this, and the way they put things together, because it wasn't particularly massive, supposedly this set, but just the way they brought things together, which is so clever, isn't it?
Yeah.
You got a beautiful deco feel. Jack Palance is so amazing, isn't he? With Jack Nicholson, I mean, wow, what a couple of heavyweight actors there.
And and here we have our first. That must have been a lot of time in the chair every day.
Yes. Yeah, I can certainly attest to the makeup chair, because I got my mother's a makeup artist. She does a lot of film and television. So one day I did the plaster, I had it on my face. And it takes about 20 minutes for it to harden, actually.
Yes. But I mean, Nick Dudman, as we know, who did Jack's makeup, was phenomenal, wasn't he? And very cleverly thought out as well.
There's a nice scene as well, because
lovely,
Bruce is just contemplating the life he could have had.
Yes.
If he hadn't been Batman.
Although saying that, I mean, I did get, a lot of the most iconic sequences. I was very fortunate.
Well, you have a lot of pretty big moments in the movie.
I mean, I can't believe it now, and you think that the opening and the ending, but there's number in between, but they are ones that have made a huge impact.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. I went to see Michael was doing a Q&A in London, and I got invited to attend this double feature of 89 and The Flash, but it was with the unfinished ending, and Michael did a Q&A in between. But it was lovely to hear the young audience taking to 89 in the way that they did. So it proves that, yes, we know it's aged in the sense of the special effects and some of the things that were very ahead of their time then, but the actual action holds up very well, and the performances, and so I was really pleased to experience that.
Well, I think so much credit goes to Michael Uslan, producer, who executive producer, who made sure to he got the rights to Batman many years before, around the time that Superman was in the theaters, and just kept trying to make sure that when this picture was done, it was done right, and it was done seriously. That was a weekly newspaper, and there were letters in it. There were people worried about Tim Burton, of course, worried about Michael Keaton, even worried about Jack Nicholson, whether all these people could take this seriously. In the 1980s, in the comic shops, we're getting Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns, and we're getting The Killing Joke from Alan Moore, and we're getting all these serious takes, not just on Batman, but all these other characters. But the general public's understanding of comics was still stuck in 1966 with Adam West and the very campy TV series. And so we were very concerned, fans were, and it's one reason that they brought out in December of '88 a really unfinished trailer that doesn't even have the name of the movie, doesn't have the logo, doesn't have anything. It just says coming this summer. But there were more people going to that movie that was attached to that trailer. It was Tequila Sunrise, ironically a Michelle Pfeiffer movie. Now we're at the Flugelheim, another wonderful extended action piece.
Yes.
I've chosen to believe that this is knockout gas and not Smilex or anything else.
So. Yeah.
Yes.
Same here.
I mean, that's just brilliant. All the different positions that they're in.
And now the dance of destruction here.
Oh yes.
To face to being okay again. But I'm sure they just had a whole lot of footage.
Yeah,
I mean that wall there will appear in just fine in a minute.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Actually, yes, this image we'll see without the handprints in just a second. Yeah, there it is, right there.
There it is.
But and of course that's Prince's music there. That's
I think it works so beautifully with Danny's score, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, Prince was very much all in on this project. He came to it through Warner Brothers, who was the production company for the film, but also they Warner Music was Prince's label. But his own album is itself a rock opera. He took it seriously. There's a storyline in the album itself, more or less. Because again, he was a comics fan as a kid, and just went forward with it.
He was perfect, wasn't he? He really was.
Yeah, that album was #1 bestseller for a number of weeks, along with Danny's score.
Yes. And the crazy thing is, I met him, but I couldn't hold a conversation with him, which was very sad. He just didn't seem to want to participate, which was very sad.
This is Prince or Danny?
Prince. Prince.
Oh yeah,
he came. He came in. Yeah.
Oh, this is a great reveal coming up.
Yep.
I don't know anything about the game.
So you'll get to see my jump in the Batmobile
in
a while. which was
And
quite a feat, really, because it's
it's a different cape,
well, it's
isn't
a
it?
tiny cockpit. It's a tiny cockpit that I had to get into and just
Okay.
you know, I just made it so it was very seamless, very fluid. But I didn't.
What I had read is that that's a shorter cape. I don't know if that's true or not.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think I got so into the moment when I was there that I didn't analyze the cape or anything. I just was raring to go, as you can imagine, and took some practice to set that up.
Yeah, did they also shorten the ears as well? Because I read a report that, because I figured the time that they closed it the first time, the ears were still sticking out.
Yes, that's right. And then once the cover came in, the top, you know, the ears needed to be shorter. But I just can't believe, you know, looking back, thinking, my God, that was so tiny, that cockpit. But I had to just use momentum and you know, coordination to get the cape out the way and the arms and the limbs going in at the right angle and stuff. But it's nice to see,
because I could easily envision that one shot taking 20 minutes. If
you know, just timing, lighting, everything.
Yeah.
But it didn't take me too long to get that.
Yeah.
Now that, I mean, that I did get told I should have done that sequence, but I think the thing was it probably would have been very, very difficult because you would have seen my face too much, maybe. So they let Michael complete that one. But you know, I think for me as a performer, you know, just seeing how the cape should move, I'd love to have done that. You know, that was my forte, really. I'm pretty sure I'd watched both versions of all of this fighting.
Yeah, there's the better part of valor right there. He's
So here's me coming out here. Just, you know, again, it's making it very fluid. Oh, sorry, and there's sorry,
ahead.
John. There's sorry. I just thought I'd point out there's quite a bit of me in the back cave now.
Oh, here we go.
Coming out with Vicky. That's me coming out with Vicky there. Move, and then I do a lot of stuff where it's kind of intercut between me and Michael. So he goes and puts, you know, the lights on there, and then a lot of me going throughout the back cave in a moment. Just after this bit, yes.
In a review, I said, you know, that this movie had just redeemed comics in the popular culture. I cannot imagine a movie like The Crow coming out 5 years later without this film as a precursor.
I have given a name to my pain.
He's got one of the sets.
Yeah. This scene always fascinates me because it's truncated. It's in the script. It's a much longer sequence that takes, takes Bruce and then Bruce's Batman on a chase through the town. And I asked Michael Lewis how much of that was it was storyboarded, but nothing was really shot.
No.
And at one point, there's a sequence where Batman is, or actually, Bruce is on a horse.
Yes, remember that. Yes, because Michael actually asked me about that. He asked me if I was asked to do it or any of the other stunt guys.
Okay.
You know, because with him going to San Diego. But I told him that no, nothing was ever mentioned.
Yep, the pop-in.
And that's all this sequence ends up being. He's there and he goes as a result.
Sometimes that's better, isn't it? In a way, you know, to make it more truncated, like you say.
Yeah.
And I think it's incredible how the riding, that scene was cut, but yet that led to Sean Young's downfall, didn't it? That riding accident that she had, and tragic for her. But I love that one as well.
Yeah, that's a good one. So many quotable lines.
There's so many great ones, isn't there?
Robert is responsible for as we're talking about this, they have the Naked Gun movie with Liam Neeson coming out. He wrote the episodes of Police Squad that were on television in the early 1980s.
So just going on this folder that Michael's holding here, it's a very basic folder. I was quite surprised that they didn't give him something a little bit more, We
haven't really mentioned Pat Hingle, but the Commissioner Gordon. Yes. Again, he's wonderful. He said something about when they were casting. They said often they would say they needed a Pat Hingle type police officer, and so let's just get him. So it's only clue anybody has as to what time of year this film takes place.
Yes.
It's not that it really matters, but it's the fall. Because this was the anniversary of this happening that we had seen just a few.
I was telling Ian that you had the complete opposites going on, that, interior shots were very, very hot under the lights and having the costume. And, as we know, there's a lot of takes. It's not necessarily you, it's just covering all the different angles and things. But then you went outside and you were freezing cold, so it was a whole spectrum of temperatures. But and some of the sets were smaller than you thought inside in the interiors. But yeah, you just that was just all part and parcel of it for me, and I just was able to cope with it. When I ended up doing the documentary, putting the suit on for the making of a hero, and that was great to do.
Yeah.
Just that car is just something else, isn't it? And then there's the famous turn, which is actually me.
Oh, yes.
And then
so you create the bad turn.
Yeah, so Michael does the close-up there. But
yeah.
I loved watching this. It just...
Yeah, the song Prince had written for this was called 200 Balloons, and it ended up being the B-side to Bat Dance.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But, obviously we're about 196 balloons short of 200.
Yes. it's so funny, isn't it?
Well,
I remember them setting up for the Batwing crash, which happens a little bit later, and they had to get that spot on the last time because they were out of time, and it cost them a fortune, I think, in not quite getting it right initially, but when they did, it was perfection. There's a lot of me interchange between Michael and myself getting out the crash, and
it's like plastic surgeon always said. Where you going, bro? Go slow.
I'm glad they decided to let Knox survive that business.
Yeah.
Yes, me too. I was telling Ian how much fun it was doing these insert shots.
That's been another fun thing, is basically Batman is always prepared. So whatever the problem is he must have something in his bag of tricks or in his plane or whatever ready-made for whatever the thing is. And so
well, it shows how prepared he is,
yep.
his mindset.
And this is just so dramatically different from
It
any
is,
other
isn't it?
superhero movie. I mean,
Absolutely.
here are the machine guns, here are the missiles, getting people ready for thinking this is completely different than anything we've ever seen.
It's the thing that Batman misses there, isn't it?
Yeah.
you have to stretch it, don't you?
It's and
you need that. You need those elements.
But yeah, because they don't know until now that he's going up there. So
no, that's right.
But that's okay.
Yeah, so this is a combination of me and Michael here, and close-ups Michael and
These guys were a little late to the party.
they were, weren't they? Very much so.
Oh, close call.
Yeah.
How he thought he could move that.
I don't know.
All right, Pat Hingle can't move it. I guess we better go.
We better get Superman in, I think. There's a lot of me now through the bell tower, which obviously Michael there, and then me now.
Yeah.
Moving throughout now. And it carries on with me again now to where Lawrence tries to come and attack me.
Here it comes.
And me there. Combination and the martial arts guy throughout this bit.
The prop builders must have had fun making the Joker's toys.
Oh yes, they really did. Yeah, they adapted them so beautifully. That's really clever. That's very good. Great way to get rid of him as well.
It's like something out of Hitchcock, that shot just now.
It is very much so, isn't it?
Idiot. You took me into that vat of chemicals. That wasn't easy to go. That I didn't try. I killed you. I made you. You gotta say you make me. I'll try it. You get it back last. How much you? What are you laughing at?
Now, this situation was added last minute.
One imagines the Joker has his own utility belt of pranks.
Yeah.
No, yes.
He's got a big coat.
He can do it all, Jack.
Yeah.
He was just so clever.
Yeah. And
Yes,
in the theater, the first time, I think the air just went out of the room. Nobody could believe that they would let Tim do this.
Yes.
To a major character. But it just sort of underscored that this was all serious.
It's commendable he hung on as long as he did.
Yes, yeah. I liked how they did prolong that, though. It just added to the tension a bit more.
That was a cool moment.
Oh, well. It's
the day that the laughter stopped. Or continued, if you think about it.
Yep. Well, I know that Michael Goff would go on to be in all the 3 sequels to this, and I can't remember.
Yes.
Is Pat all in the 4th?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I try not to watch that.
Yeah, there's a line in the original script and also the comic adaptation where she's like, "I'm gonna disappear from Gotham for a while," but they took that out here.
It's an old Rolls Royce, you know.
Oh,
it's just
exactly.
perfect.
Oh yeah,
Just perfect, isn't it? But this is my my ending.
Just such an iconic shot. And
yeah, it is.
So, and then of course Michelle had it, didn't she? In Returns, and you're going to keep that iconic signal going.
what
Yeah.
were you able to see? I mean, was the signal physically there? I mean,
It wasn't there when I did it. No, that was all added in
yeah,
afterwards. But I was on this huge platform with
yeah,
this fabulous huge turbine propeller, you know, just
yeah,
giving that wonderful. But I think it's that way of holding yourself like a superhero, where
yeah.
you're projecting that confidence and strength, and
Oh, very
that
good.
you're primed and ready.
Well, I mean, you know, obviously, well, the people roared in the theater when I at that moment. But I again, you know, I've never been you know, a cosplayer. I dressed up one time in high school as Indiana Jones at a convention. I was the world's saddest Indiana Jones. People thought I was a
No, I
burly
don't
cow.
believe it.
So again, I really have enjoyed you know, meeting you and talking about this. It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you,
Fantastic.
John, and me the same with you. I mean, you're so, you know, so much depth with your knowledge and passions, and you know, that sort of connects with me so much, because I mean, it's like anything in life, isn't it? We spoke about this earlier on, about your influences and
Yep.
the films you watch, the actors, and as I say, I'm very much a stickler for making things, you know, perfect, really,
Yeah.
but not in a stilted, manufactured way. But you know, I was always brought up to hold myself right, you know, and you know, your shoulders back, and that kind of thing, not sloppy at the table, and you know, that just carries on through your life. And then when I then was able to dance and use these skills and various things, if you like, along the way, and you notice it when somebody else is not doing it, and not being critical. But I've seen, you know, the likes of Christian Bale running, and to me, you know, it wasn't smooth enough, you know, it wasn't. But that's me, you know, because I'm, you know, I love Gene Kelly and Fred Astaire and all those greats, you know, growing up. And you know, you realize that whole thing of them dancing was that they made it look effortless. And so I was telling people, look, you can't make it look laborious and a struggle. You have to make it look as though it's no trial or tribulation at all. And so yeah, that's kind of carried on throughout my life. And so I'm always getting asked by cosplayers or various people, you know, wow, how did you move like that? And you know, even they, you know, they can't do the same with their capes.
Oh gosh, no.
It's
Can't
just,
get out of the elevator half the time.
No.
you know, and I love them all in that way, and I'll always help them and encourage them. But you know, it's an art form in itself, to work with costume in the right way, and that's why people like myself come along to add that element to it. You know.
Well, I think you guys, everybody, really produced something here that has lasted, and
Yes.
it's certainly is inspired. So again, thanks so very much.
Thank you very much as well, John, and Ian as well, for arranging this. And you know, I was saying to Ian earlier as well that Michael Uslan, who's a dear friend as well, he was going to introduce me to you at some point, but I know with his schedule and probably yours, it's always, and with me being in the UK as well, it's not always possible. But I caught up with him in London, you know, last winter, and that after 36 years, you can believe I never got to see him at Pinewood. but finally got to meet him and spend time with him, and that was very special, as it has been with you both today. You know, it's been fantastic.
Well, I was grateful you guys wanted to come on and share this experience and talk about, obviously, Carl, a bit more about your experiences on the movie, and you, John, your experiences about watching the movie, analyzing it 12 times, and
No, more than
a
that,
little bit
actually.
about the writing process of the resurrection,
Well, very good. Thanks very much.
of course.
And I mean, I truly hope that I'll get to see you in the States, both of you, at some point.
I hope so.
You know,
I hope so.
I would dream for that to happen. So here's hoping, anyway.
Yeah.
And I've always got some merch or some photographs available on the Ballybat social media, and have a look at the website as well. A lot of informative material there for you. And
of course, you can always follow me here on YouTube. And also, I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. And of course, follow me on Patreon. And as always, hit that like button and subscribe. Well, I think that's going to be it for us. I'm A. Miller. And this has been Triple Threat Comics YouTube channel, Movie Watch. Also, be sure to actually follow us on our social media accounts, including Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And if you'd like to follow us on YouTube, just hit that like button and subscribe.